Hey everybody, come read a book with me. I'm over at the ASU. Let's see, I like it better this way. I'm over at the ASU library with quite the view and in a super cushy area. Ha! Look at all these couches. Anyways, I found some cool books that I wanted to read today. So I'm gonna do a video for each of them. But this one is called Remember. It's by Joy Harjo. It's a Caldecott medalist, award-winning illustrator, Michela Gode, or Gode? I'm not sure. But this is, if you'll notice up at the top, Joy Harjo was the U.S. Poet Laureate for a while. She isn't anymore, but she also is a Native American of which tribe, I don't remember, but we'll get to that in the end because I think it'll say a couple of words about her and her past and stuff. Anyways, here we go. Remember the sky that you were born under. Know each of the stars' stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away tonight. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life, her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them. Listen to them. They are alive poems. I love the fact that there's aloe vera right outside, growing in big bunches all over this campus. Remember the wind. Remember her voice. She knows the origin of the universe. Remember, you are all people, and all people are you. Remember, all is in motion, growing inside of you. Oh, remember, all is in motion, is growing, is you. Pardon me. Remember, you are this universe. I'd love to be able to read this at night and have the stars outside and be able to like zoom in on them like that out the window while reading this. That'd be pretty cool. And this universe is you. Remember, so it says, with gratitude to those who teach us how to navigate this challenging story field with grace, wildness, and heart. Joy Harjo. Author's note. I think of a poem as a pocket or an envelope that a child can hold dreams, thoughts, or anything else that you might put together with words, rhythm, and patterns of lines and sounds. Some poems are written on paper. Some poems are carried around in memory and live in your heart. I like to imagine a poetry room in my heart. The first poems planted there were from my mother. She recited poetry she had learned in her one-room schoolhouse. She also wrote songs that were like poetry with wings. I loved to see her type them out on her typewriter that sat on the kitchen table and then sing them. She wrote what was in her heart. In the poetry room of your imagination, there is space for all poems that you will ever need. We need poems when we lose something important to us, when we need to pay attention, or when we need to put something back together that's been broken. In my Muskoki tradition, I think that's her tribe, we have a song for growing corn, stopping a storm, for expressing gratitude for the beauty of this on this earth. To speak or sing aloud on paper is a powerful way to bring your thoughts, your yearnings, your secret dreams, your heart into existence. Remember, came into the world to remind me who I am as a human being living on this generous earth. We all need to be reminded to remember. Poetry feeds our hearts and minds so we can walk forward in our story with renewed spirit. You can write your own poems and carry in your pocket or your notebook. The best place to carry them will always be in your heart and on the tip of your tongue, I think. They are always with you. Joy Harjo. Let's see if I can do this in under 15 minutes so I can put it all in the same video. For our past, present, and future, Michaela Goad. Joy's poems begin with an invitation to remember the stars, moon, and sun. These words reminded me of the traditional Tlingit creation stories, the ones about Raven and his trickster ways, and how he first released the stars, moon, and sun. In time, Raven brought us other gifts, such as fire, rivers, and tides, eventually forming the world as we know it. But in the beginning, there was night and there was day, and it felt right that art should also begin with Raven bringing light to the world. Further expression came from the Tinglit concept of Ha-Shagun, which is the understanding that our ancestors are united with the present and the future generations. I brought this into the artwork by imagining a young Tlingit girl who is called upon to remember who and where she came from. As she grows, she learns the power that comes from this knowledge. As I worked on this book, I wanted the pages to feel like a celebration of Tlingit, Ani, or Tinglit land. The ocean and rainforest settings reflect our ancestral home in Southeast Alaska, and the animals and plants I included hold special cultural significance. I also hint at traditional stories as well as referencing traditional dance and regalia. Additionally, imagery such as the moon, the sun, and certain animals, you'll find elements of form line design. Traditional art style belonging to the many of the indigenous nations along the Pacific Northwest coast, including the Tlingit. Tlingit formline is unique, complex art form imbued with cultural meaning, history, and protocol. In my eyes, it is a true alive poem. I hope this book helps you remember who you are, or where and who you come from. This will mean different things to different people, and that is a beautiful thing. We all have our own important stories to remember and share with the world. I carry this book in my heart always, and I hope you do too. Glunalchish McKelligode, I think. And as always, feather for your thoughts because it's kind of lighter than a penny. Anyways, thanks for coming over and reading a story with me. Looks like we're at 13:31. Yay!